In 1937, as the Nazi machine began erasing Jewish life from Europe, one man received a letter from the Gestapo. It was not a death warrant. It was a promise of absolute protection, personally ordered by Adolf Hitler. The man who received it was Jewish, a doctor, and what connected him to the most feared man in history was something so simple, so human, that it will stop you cold. But to understand why, we have to go back, 30 years back, to a small apartment in Linz, Austria, to a dying woman, and to a grieving boy sitting at her bedside who made a promise he would never forget. The year is 1907. Clara Hitler is 47 years old and losing her fight against breast cancer. The family has almost no money. The doctor who comes to treat her, who charges almost nothing because he can see they cannot afford it, is a kind Jewish physician named Dr. Eduard Bloch. He tries everything available, painful, experimental treatments, ultimately unsuccessful. But he never abandons her. He stays until the very end. When Clara dies on the 21st of December, 1907, her son Adolf is in the room. He is 18 years old, devastated in a way people who knew him said they never saw before or after. Before leaving, he sits with Dr. Bloch and says 4 words that would echo across history. "I shall be grateful to you forever." Most people who said those words would forget them within a decade. Adolf Hitler did not. By 1938, Hitler is the most powerful man in Europe. Austria has been absorbed into the Third Reich overnight. What follows for Austrian Jews is immediate and brutal. Businesses seized, bank accounts frozen, arrests begin. But in Linz, in a quiet street, something different happens. 2 Gestapo officers are posted outside a single house, not to raid it, to protect it. The house belongs to Dr. Eduard Bloch. The order has come directly from Hitler. What follows broke every rule of Nazi racial policy. Dr. Bloch is officially designated an Edeljud, a noble Jew, a classification that existed for no one else in the entire Third Reich. He is allowed to continue practicing medicine when all other Jewish doctors have been banned, allowed to sell his house at full market value, illegal for every other Jewish family at the time, allowed to keep the money and take it with him when he emigrates to America in 1940. Every single one of these protections required Hitler's personal authorization, every one a direct contradiction of the ideology being enforced on millions of others at exactly the same moment. In 1941, an American magazine tracked Dr. Bloch down in New York and asked what he remembered about Hitler. He did not describe a monster. He described a quiet, polite boy utterly devoted to his mother. He said Hitler was one of the saddest people he had ever seen after Clara died. That boy existed. That grief was real. And it lived inside the same person signing orders that would lead to the murder of 6 million Jewish people. People who looked exactly like Dr. Bloch and received no protection whatsoever. Here is what that tells us. Hitler did not protect Dr. Bloch because he doubted his ideology. He protected him because personal debt mattered more to him than his own racial laws, which means he always knew the laws were a choice. He chose them anyway, for everyone else. A single act of gratitude does not redeem a lifetime of industrial evil. The protection of Dr. Bloch was not justice. It was proof that the monster knew exactly what he was doing. Dr. Bloch lived until 1945. He died in New York, surrounded by his family. When asked if he felt any conflict about the man who saved him, he said he did not know what to feel. Grateful to be alive, devastated by what that same man had done to his people. 2 things, completely true, completely opposite at the same time. History is rarely a simple story of monsters and heroes. Sometimes the most disturbing thing it shows us is just how human the monsters really were. So tell me, does knowing this change how you see Hitler? Or does it make what he did even harder to understand?